Good morning, and welcome to Risk Management and Decision Making. I'm Dr. Robert McGinnis, and I will be facilitating this class for the next 8 weeks. I want to take this opportunity to give you some tips and pointers on how to write uh, good critical thinking papers. This is an upper division critical thinking class. Um, so each week we have learning objectives, and be sure to be familiar with what the learning objectives are, because what I'm looking for in a paper is your reflection on those objectives and how they applied to our particular case study that we're looking at the same time. So I want to look at our first screen, the introductions. Now the introductions are important to me because in the introduction, I get a little information about what your goals and professional interests are, and that helps me with providing feedback that's relevant to you. So I appreciate all the introductions that we've received so far. It looks like we have a lot of varied experiences, and many of them have already had experience where they've faced risk management questions and issues. And of course, we all have. Risk management includes car insurance that we get, house insurance. These are all risk management decisions, life insurance. So in the class, we'll look at ways to tabulate your tolerance for risk and look at a process for which we actually map out the elements of risk and the driving forces for that risk, and put it in diagrams and an analysis that has a very specific process. For example, we'd be doing fishbone diagrams. It's a great way of communicating to others all the elements of risk and using that in a team meeting to talk about what those risks, what the driving forces are, and what the impacts are on the company. I've got tips for good writing, and particularly be sure to look at this quoting and paraphrasing summary. Some people had some difficulties with the syllabus quiz, and I suspect it's probably because not only students were assuming that paraphrased information doesn't have to be cited, but it does. If you're paraphrasing something from a source, from a reading, or from a research, that has to be cited as well as direct quotes. Now, in a critical thinking paper, your citations shouldn't be any more than 20% of the total paper. What I'm looking for are reflections that you had that you can relate the core objectives for each particular week and apply it to the case study to illuminate the case study. In the case study, you're not doing a book report. You're digging deeper into the concepts, the processes, and the procedures that have been proven over the years to be effective way of managing risk. So that's it in a nutshell. Look over it. I've also got a section called Other Reference Material. This is not mandatory, and it probably will only be something that you'd use if you want to dig a little deeper into the topic. So these are references that are relevant to our case studies and are also helpful if you want to expand on the particular case study assignment. Okay, let's go to Module 1 now and look at our first assignment. So you will see that every module is going to start with objectives. And in this case, the first objective is to respond to risk, assess risk, and you're looking for the operational, clinical, business, you're looking for regulatory, and all those things that apply to risk. So when you're writing your paper, be sure to use the technical language of the particular industry and reflect on how those objectives relate to that particular case study. And you'll be writing killer papers for this class. Book reports is not what we're looking for at this level. entire paper that reflects little other than just a paraphrasing of the author's uh, reading assignment. Will not work for the critical thinking aspects of this class. So we go down to this week's reading assignment, and you'll see these are the pages that we're covering in the first week. And then when I go down to the case study, we're looking at Lego. Lego, of course, everybody's familiar with Lego, and it's an international global business. So this is reflecting a corporation that has global influences to their risk. So the first question, look, what are the advantages of integrating enterprise risk management with strategy and strategy execution? And what this is saying, at the top level, when we're developing a 5-year plan, when we're doing a SWOT analysis of the corporation, and where the company formulates and revises its strategic plan for the year, that the enterprise resource management division is involved in that process and has the endorsement and support of the chief executive officers of the company. So when we're delving into a particular case study, we're looking at using techniques that you've learned for the module and actually demonstrating that these techniques are applied to the particular case study situation. For example, if you're doing a compare and contrast, looking at what is going on at Lego, you can compare that to other international companies that illuminate their particular situation and their approach to risk management. So we'll look at the methodologies include how to do a risk assessment, how to do a problem analysis, how to do a root cause. And I'm looking for a comparison and contrast within your work that reflects the nature of the concepts applied in each case study. So with that being said, let me recap what we've covered today in terms of writing good papers. When you're writing your papers, it's critical that you practice bridging that gap between the academic theory and business practices, because that's how you really demonstrate to your company that you've studied these concepts and that you're able to apply them. So in that practice, we're looking for ways to anchor your understanding in new concepts with images and experiences that we can relate to illuminate the particular situation in the case study that we're looking at each week. Even now, it's not new. The processes and methodologies have been developed over a long time. In the Lego case, for example, it was written in 2006, so it's about 15 years old. So you're going to have to do some research to look at their risk management program in today's date and reflect on what has changed over the last 15 years. So with that being said, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll have a Zoom meeting on Thursday, and we can talk further about the discussion questions and the case studies that we're working on and the team project. Our first assignment for the team project's not due until next week, but you should be getting to know the people that you're going to be working with, making contact information, and starting on a team charter. Well, I thank you for your time, and I will see you online, and I look forward to working with you. Have a great day.